Hello, I'm Anthony P., and today I have 11 super clear tips for preparing your academic conference presentation. Tip 1. Know your audience. How many people will you be presenting to? Where will they be from and what languages do they speak? What is their education level? And are they in your field or are they from a multidisciplinary background? These factors will determine the complexity of your presentation and your presentation style. For example, if most of the audience is non-native speakers, then having full sentences on screen may help them understand your topic better. You may even be allowed to put a translation or two. Another example, if the audience members are in your field, you can use detailed industry phrases and jargon as the audience will already be able to understand your vocabulary. I'm imagining a doctor presenting on aortic valve replacement to a room of surgeons. They can understand all the medical jargon that the presenter uses. Tip 2. Localize a little. Are you presenting to Europeans, East Asians, North Americans? Localize parts of your presentation to be culturally sensitive. Accommodating your audience shows your respect and builds trust. For example, learning "Thank you for coming to my presentation today" in the local language. If you're presenting in Japan, consider a bow at the end of your presentation to show gratitude. Personally, I like to compliment the country that I'm in. For example, I will say, "I'm happy to be here in beautiful Taiwan, and I'm constantly impressed by the beautiful mountains and friendly people." Localize your presentation a little to show respect for your host country, city, and people. Tip 3. Have clear goals. It's important that your presentation has clear goals. Are you aiming to educate, inspire, encourage discussion, or showcase research findings? Having clear goals will guide your presentation structure and content. Here are 2 simple objective examples for an academic conference presentation. I want the audience to understand my study's methodology. I want the audience to understand my study's implications. I could make 2 very different conference presentations for these 2 objectives, even if they were on the same research paper. So, write down your goals early in your drafting process and build your presentation around those goals. Tip 4. Design a clear PowerPoint. Here are my main suggestions for designing a clear PowerPoint. Use consistent formatting. All main titles should be the same font size and font color. Use clear transitions. If you're changing topics, put a title slide with no information on it. Use images sparingly. Edit the grammar and spelling. Use large fonts on visual aids, such as graphs and charts. These are often too hard for the audience to read. Avoid crazy fonts, colors, and backgrounds. I've made many videos on this topic. You can find links to those video playlists in the description under the like button. Tip 5. Script a confident, respectful, and clear introduction. This will help calm your nerves when you grab that microphone. And it will show the audience that you are prepared. Say your name and university affiliation, thank the organizers and your advisors, and welcome the audience to your presentation. Then, state the presentation title and presentation goals. Here's an example of a clear and polite presentation introduction. Hello everyone, my name is Anthony Parnagoni. Please call me Anthony. I'm a Master's of Education student at the University of Dayton in the USA. A quick thank you to the organizers of this event, and thank you to my advisor, Professor Smith. And welcome everyone to my presentation. I'm happy that you all are here. My presentation is titled Utilizing AI Tools for Undergraduate Curriculum Development. Today, I'm going to show you how our deep learning model increased student test scores and student satisfaction, and how you can use our deep learning model today for your own curriculum development. Tip 6. Prepare clear and concise language. Explain complex terms and concepts, and define any specialized terminology you use. Remember that you are the only expert on your research. Everyone needs to be educated on everything you have learned over your months of hard work. I recommend scripting your main presentation ideas in clear and concise language. Remember, long sentences don't make you sound smarter. Avoid this trap by developing clear and concise language during your preparation process. Tip 8. Use interactive elements. An interactive element is a part of the presentation where the audience gets involved. The most common interactive element in an academic conference is question and answer, Q&A. If you are up for the challenge, here are some common interactive elements for conference presentations. Show of hands. This is an easy way to quickly see who in the audience falls into 2 or more groups. Here's an example. Can I see a show of hands? How many of you have a passport? Example 2. Can I see a show of hands? Who prefers to cook at home? Quizzes. I love using quizzes to get an understanding of the audience's knowledge or beliefs. Quizzes can be a great introduction or conclusion to a topic. For example, how many native Hawaiian plant species are currently on the endangered list? A, 2%, B, 10%, C, 20%, D, 35%. And ask for an answer. Your audience will likely have many great researchers, so you may want to ask an audience member for an explanation or answer to a simple question. This really makes the audience feel that they are participating in a learning environment. However, this works best for smaller audiences where the vibe is more casual. For example, who would like to give a brief explanation on what convergent evolution is? Use interactive elements to break the ice and engage your audience. Tip 9. Plan your time. For your conference presentation, every breath counts, so it's important to plan your time. When drafting your presentation, note which ideas or slides can be covered quickly and which ideas and slides need more time. I often need to remind myself that not everything needs to be explained in great detail. For example, DNA is such a common term, you do not need to describe or explain what deoxyribonucleic acid actually is. Every time you rehearse your presentation out loud, use a timer. After 10 or 20 rehearsals, you will start to get a flow for which sections require more time and which sections you can move quickly through. Tip 10. Prepare for Q&A. The question and answer section is a staple of an academic conference presentation. Prepare for this by writing down questions that the audience may ask, then script your answers using clear and concise English. Rehearse those answers dozens of times. I would also ask your colleagues and advisor for potential questions as well. Give brief answers in Q&A to use time effectively for the audience. Tip 11. Have a backup plan. What happens if the power goes out? What happens if you lose internet? What happens if your laptop dies? What are you going to do if the microphone runs out of battery? When I am preparing for a presentation, I save my PowerPoint in 4 places: on Google Drive, on my local hard drive, on a USB flash drive, and I also make sure that a colleague has access to my presentation. I would bring extra batteries, extra business cards, extra handouts, extra socks, extra snacks, you name it. As the saying goes, be ready for the best, but prepared for the worst. To recap, here are my 11 super clear tips for preparing your presentation for an academic conference. What tips do you have for preparing for an international academic conference? Leave a comment below the like button and I will read it and reply. Thanks for watching and have a great day.